That was intense. My stomach still hurts. So I just saw City of Dreams. Let's talk about it. Directed by Mohit Ramchandani, stars Ari Lopez, Diego Calva, and a whole bunch of other people. I don't know about you, but when I'm watching a movie and it gets really intense, it's not just a feeling, it becomes very physical for me. I remember the movie Argo, where we get to a part where it gets very intense, where they're getting ready to fly out of Iran. I held my breath, and the rest of the theater did as well, because as soon as they got out of Irani airspace, you could hear the in the movie theater. This movie was just physically intense, fast-paced. There's a scene in particular where my stomach just hurt. I was very much involved in what was happening. I was just on the edge of my seat, had to put my nachos down. I didn't even finish my nachos. That has never happened. So Jesus is from a small, little town in Mexico, and he is on his way to Los Angeles to attend what he thinks is a soccer camp. But when he gets there, it's not a soccer camp. It is a sweatshop in the middle of Los Angeles, what appears to be a wealthy, well-to-do home, and it's just downhill from there. Ari Lopez plays our lead. This is his feature film debut. What an incredibly talented young man. So it's never clear if he is mute because of something physical or if he just chooses not to speak, but he doesn't say a word until the very end of the movie. So everything we're getting in terms of what's happening, because we're following him, he is driving the plot, driving the story. Anything that happens is happening to him, it's happening around him, it's what he's experiencing. So all he has is his face and his body language to communicate what he sees, what he feels, what he thinks. And my goodness, the talent. Diego Calva is also in this in kind of a minor-ish role. This is the first time I've seen him since Babylon, which he should have been nominated for an Oscar for that. Was he? I don't remember. But he didn't get the recognition he deserved for that movie. No, he did not get nominated for an Oscar. Him and Margot Robbie should have been nominated for that movie. But I digress. We're going on a tangent here. The only issue that I have with this film is I felt the production design for some of the rooms within the house were just a little melodramatic. It felt put on, heavily put on. But other than that, I mean, it's well acted, well written, well produced. Beautifully shot. Golly, the camera work. There's one particular scene, and this is where it got really intense. It is an incredibly long scene, somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes. This scene is very, very long. And just the steady cam work, the handheld camera work, just a good chunk of it is one long take. I want to see a behind the scenes of just the rehearsal and the blocking just to make that scene it was perfect. So this film is doing two things. Number one, it is, raising awareness for human trafficking and modern slavery within the United States. And number two, it's shining a light on the abuses within the manufacturing of fast fashion. What I just said should not come as a shock to you. It is not a conspiracy theory. We all know it. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows how the clothes from Shein get made. Everyone knows, certain things like Fashion Nova, it's not on the up and up. If it's fast fashion, more than likely it's involving some sort of illegal labor, child labor, or slavery. In that scene I was talking about with the wonderful camera work where it gets intense, and sorry to spoil it, but my God, this scene alone is worth a ticket. If you could give awards for just in the best scene, this would deserve recognition, because a lot of things are happening here. So Jesus has found a way to escape. He's running for his life. That is the scene. He is literally running for his life. He's in an unfamiliar setting. He's running all throughout LA, and he finds himself in a basket in a truck going to another warehouse. So he lives in the house where this stuff is manufactured. He is now going to another warehouse where they're also doing a lot of sewing. They're also doing shipping and packaging and whatnot, and that's where he finds himself, and he gets caught. But then now he's running for his life. So he runs out of the warehouse and finds himself in back alleys where they're selling a lot of fast fashion stuff. So mass produced fanny packs, mass-produced clothes and scarves and whatnot. And then he finds himself in a store with all these mass-produced dresses and shirts. And it's such a powerful thing, because before we even get to this long scene, we see a dress, and it's one of the dresses that he makes. And then he gets back into the warehouse and he sees that same dress being packaged. And it's such an oddly placed little thing, because nothing comes of it, because he just picks it up, pulls it over, like he recognizes it, realizes this is something that his hands have made, puts it back down, and then as he's running for his life, he sees a woman wearing that dress. It's a subtle yet loud indictment of the fast fashion industry, a middle finger, if you will, a calling out. Like, I see you, and it's the director and the camera people basically take us on the journey from the creation of these clothes to when they end up on our bodies, and what that process looks like, and basically just throws it out there in the open. It's subtle and it's bold and it's well done. That was intense. I was on the edge of my seat. But the only way this movie works is if the lead actor is quality, and he carried. My God, he carried. What an incredibly gifted young man. That scene alone, though, I'm going to be thinking about that for days. Like, I almost want to watch this again just to dissect it, and just, it was just, oh. What a risk, though, because, we're in the age of, short attention spans, and everything needs to be done quickly, or else we lose focus, or else we lose interest. And they really took a risk by making this scene so long, but it has certain little elements and pockets in it, a social commentary, if you will, that you can't help but pay attention. It was well crafted, well done, but it was such a risk. That's cinema. That's what it's been since its inception, was taking risk and hoping for the best, crossing your fingers that it works. And it worked. I thought this was well done. It was straightforward and very well done. And I will tell you, though, the way they hated on Sound of Freedom, they're going to hate this one too. There is something about this subject matter in particular that just makes Hollywood and critics so angry. But if there is a movie this year that I would be like, you have to see it, I feel like this is it. This is it. This is the movie to see. 5 major releases this weekend, and I saw 4 of them, and this was definitely the best of the 4.